According to the New York Post, it's doomsday for Hollywood as LA shoot days plummet in latest figures. If you go out to the Wrap, they said that Los Angeles on-location production sinks 12% despite new tax credits, Film LA study shows. So this explains why Hollywood is freaking out about the merger between Paramount and Warner Bros. They're already hurting. We know this. They're already on their way out. We know this. And I think that the Ellisons are going to wind up walking away with Warner Brothers before it's all said and done. Now, there has been another 2-week delay added to the situation as they deal with the states. But that was, as I understand it, at the request of Paramount. This was not a win for the other side. So, again, this thing has already sailed through the EU. I think once they deal with the states, it's over. And at this point, since the states are trying so hard to make things as difficult as possible for Warner Brothers and Paramount, I think that they will probably just pull out of the state. I could be wrong, but I could totally see David Ellison being like, you know what? I tried to be nice. I tried to help you guys. I tried to make promises about keeping filming here, and you still sued me. You still tried to stop this merger. So fuck you. I could totally see that happening. But anyway, we're going to talk about this. Before we get into it any further, please subscribe for more pop culture news, views, and rants, guys. Geeky's sitting this one out, but you got plenty of Geeky today. She did a couple videos herself. We're just working crazy different schedules right now, so bear with us. This has come from the New York Post. Doomsday warning for Hollywood as LA shoot days plummet in latest figures. Hollywood films seem to be rebounding at the box office, they said, with recent projections hinting that this could be the first domestic $10 billion year since 2019, thanks in part to YouTubers and Hollywood starting to pivot to make movies that people like. Now, there have been some really big box office failures, Supergirl, Masters of the Universe, etc., but Spider-Man's going to do good. Doomsday will probably do good. But the Doomsday we're talking about, it's not the Dr. Doom Doomsday. It's this situation. They said Film LA released its new second quarter report on Thursday, revealing there was a 13% drop in film and TV production shoot days from the same period last year. The company logged 4,711 shoot days for the second quarter of this year, a 12.7% drop from Q2 in 2025. So it's like 1,000 shoot days less. The tally also fell 8% short of this year's first quarter, where there were 5,100 shoot days logged, with a whopping 35% drop from the 5-year average. There have been 170 film and television projects that were awarded production tax credits through the California Film and TV Tax Credit Program, which includes 41 new projects announced earlier this month. While the downward production trend is troubling, there were bright spots in the report with strong gains coming in several metrics from television. Overall television production was down 27% from Q2 2025. There was a 34% jump in TV shoot days. Several shows, such as Fox's high-profile reboot of Baywatch and Hulu's Prison Break reboot, were filmed in LA, along with returning shows Ballard, Bosch, Start of Watch, and The Night Agent on Netflix. So they said, it's shrinking. They're giving you a bunch of numbers here. We're looking at this, and basically everything is going down. They said, despite the decrease in several metrics, LA Mayor Karen Bass, remember Karen Bass, still touted the progress Film LA has made during this time. While there's much work to do, Film LA's quarterly report is proof that incentives are working. Local incentivized productions are on the rise, creating good-paying union jobs, and realizing economic opportunity for Angelenos. I created the state's first ever film and TV tax credit, fought to expand it to $750 million, and I'm doubling down by fighting for an uncapped tax credit that includes competition reality television and above-the-line spend, while also fighting to create the first ever federal film incentive. Why should the government subsidize Hollywood? I don't know. We'll keep cutting red tape and slashing permit fees at the local level. Please stay in Hollywood, guys. Do not leave Hollywood. We will sue you if you try to leave Hollywood. Let's take a look at the Wrap article. They said, while high employment TV dramas are holding, reality TV's continued exodus fueled the decline. Well, yeah. And what's going on is, again, they want to claim this as their own. This happened with crowdfunding, too, where the comic book industry wants to claim manga as its own, the American comic book industry. They want to claim crowdfunding as its own, and they want to add those numbers to their bottom line to make it look like Marvel and DC are doing better. Same thing's happening here. We had some indie filmmakers do very, very well this year. Backrooms and Obsession and Markiplier's movie, Iron Lung, did very well. And they're going to take credit for that in Hollywood. They are. They're going to take credit for it. Even though they tried to keep these guys out. Markiplier especially. There's some shenanigans around his whole thing. And yeah, I mean, it was they don't want to play ball. Now we've got YouTube eating into the Hollywood space. So yeah, we'll see. The mainstream Hollywood movies are not doing as well, most of them, as they were. Let's be real. The tent poles are not doing as well, right? So if Hollywood's going to grow, it's going to grow through independent voices and channels in YouTube and, podcasts and all that stuff. But that stuff can be done anywhere. It doesn't have to be done in LA. And with AI, none of it has to be done in LA. So, and we'll get to the Ellisons, because that's what they're freaking out about is Paramount. They said only 4,700 shoot days were recorded this past quarter. We covered that. It's worth noting that the on-location report only surveys a portion of the total production work going on in LA. The vast majority of TV comedies, including many approved for the tax credit, are also soundstage productions. Okay. Film LA CEO Denise Gutches emphasized that such productions employ more cast and crew for longer periods of time than feature films and television. The continued decline in on-location shooting shows that the factors that have pushed productions to other states and countries remain, and Hollywood still finds itself in the competitive global landscape. Yeah, you don't have to go to Hollywood to make movies or TV shows anymore. You don't. You used to have to. That used to be the way. That was kind of like with comic books too. Like you had to move to New York if you wanted to work for Marvel or DC Comics. And now they're both going out to the West Coast, and most of their artists and writers live all over the world. You don't need to be there anymore. They said the biggest factor in the second quarter decline was reality TV, which fell 40%. The expanded California tax credit program allows for large-scale reality TV competition shows to apply, but so far only one show, Jimmy Kimmel, and YouTube robotics engineer Mark Rober's upcoming Netflix show Schooled, has been approved. So this is council member, one-time ally Nithya Raman said that they're going to fight to keep people in LA. This after years of Hollywood jobs leaving LA, I'll fight to bring them back. Well, let's talk about this, because this is doomsday for them. If Paramount and Warner Bros. Get together and the Ellisons are pissed off, if David Ellison is pissed off and he decides to take everything out of LA, this is the latest where we have been covering the last couple of days, especially. Judge extends temporary restraining order, pausing Paramount Warner Bros. Discovery merger, according to Deadline. Federal judge extended a temporary restraining order, pausing the Paramount Warner Bros. Discovery merger by another 2 weeks, meaning that the companies won't be able to close the transaction until at least August 17th. U.S. District Judge, whose name I cannot pronounce, Araceli Martinez-Olgun, wrote on Thursday that the TRO was extended to give the parties in the case more time to set an extended schedule for legal proceedings. She wrote she finds good cause to extend the TRO on multiple grounds, including the need to resolve 2 preliminary injunction motions. Paramount has called for a 3-day evidentiary hearing before the judge, who is weighing whether to grant a preliminary injunction, which would likely halt the merger for a lengthy period of time as the legal process plays out. The judge called for Paramount, the plaintiffs in this litigation, a dozen state attorneys and generals, and the Writers Guild of America to meet and confer and try to reach a consensus on the path forward. Probably somebody's palms are going to have to be greased. They'll probably be like, well, you give us money or a guarantee that you will not pull out of Hollywood, David Ellison, and maybe we'll let this go through. I think at this point they can't afford to piss him off, because if he does get control of that much of Hollywood and you've told this guy to go fuck himself, which they basically have, I know what I'd do. I'd be like, hey, yeah, as soon as that ink is dry in that contract, I'm pulling up stakes and we're going to like Nevada or something and fuck you. I would do that in a heartbeat. I don't know how vindictive David Ellison is, but they've been giving him a very, very hard time. And he was kind of one of them for a long time, and then they just decided they didn't like him. Same with Elon Musk. He's one of us for decades, and then we just decided, hey, we don't like him anymore because, he thinks the wrong way. He spent some time with Trump. So we'll see. We'll see how this goes. But yeah, this is literally an existential crisis for Hollywood on so many levels. And I'm sorry, things are never going to be the way they were before the pandemic and definitely not before the strikes. I'm going to wrap it up. Please subscribe. We'll talk later. Now funding on Kickstarter, a brand new set of Halloween mask pins, vintage style pins designed by me, Kneon. Check it out at halloween.ninja. That's halloween.ninja.